In the quiet corners of your mind, have you ever felt trapped by the endless storm of negative thoughts? Those whispers that tell you you're not enough, that happiness is beyond your reach? Thousands of years ago, Buddha himself faced these same demons and discovered a path to freedom that can transform your life today. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal ancient Buddhist wisdom that has helped millions break free from the prison of negative thinking. These aren't just philosophical ideas. They're practical tools that could change everything about how you experience your thoughts. Stay with me, because the peace you've been searching for might be closer than you think. Let's start with a fundamental truth that Buddha discovered. Thoughts are not reality. They're simply mental events passing through your awareness, like clouds drifting across the sky. Your negative thoughts are not facts about the world or about you. They're just thoughts. This simple realization is your first step toward freedom. Think about it this way. When you're caught in a rainstorm, you get wet, but you understand that you are not the rain. Similarly, when negative thoughts shower down on you, they may affect you, but you are not those thoughts. You are the vast, open awareness that witnesses them. In Buddhism, this awareness is called mindfulness, the practice of observing your thoughts without judgment, without getting tangled in them. It's like sitting on the bank of a river, watching your thoughts flow by instead of being swept away in the current. Try this right now. Close your eyes for a moment and notice your thoughts. Don't try to change them or push them away. Just observe them with gentle curiosity. Notice how they arise, linger for a moment, and then naturally dissolve. This is the essence of mindfulness meditation, a practice that Buddha taught as the foundation for mental freedom. But why do we get so caught up in negative thoughts in the first place? Buddha identified a profound insight. We suffer because we cling to our thoughts as if they were solid and real. We grasp at pleasant thoughts, trying to hold on to them forever. And we push away unpleasant thoughts, creating a constant struggle within ourselves. This clinging creates what Buddhists call attachment, the desperate need for things to be different than they are. When we're attached to having only positive thoughts, we create a battlefield in our minds, fighting against what is naturally arising. The radical solution Buddha offers is not to fight your negative thoughts, but to make peace with them. This doesn't mean accepting harmful beliefs about yourself or others. It means recognizing that fighting against your thoughts only gives them more power. Consider this. Have you ever tried to force yourself not to think about something? Perhaps someone said, "Don't think about a pink elephant," and immediately, that's exactly what you thought about. The more you try to suppress a thought, the stronger it becomes. Instead, Buddhism teaches us to approach our thoughts with compassion and curiosity. When a negative thought arises, rather than panicking or pushing it away, simply notice it. There's a thought about failure. Then, allow it to be there without feeding it with more thinking. This is the practice of non-attachment, allowing thoughts to come and go without clinging to them or pushing them away. It's like watching clouds pass across the sky without trying to hold on to the sunny patches or blow away the storm clouds. There's a beautiful Buddhist teaching called the second arrow. Buddha said that when something painful happens to us, it's like being hit by an arrow. That's the first arrow, and it's unavoidable. But then we often shoot ourselves with a second arrow by adding negative thoughts about the situation. This shouldn't be happening. I can't bear this. This will never end. The first arrow might be a criticism from someone, a mistake you made, or a difficult situation. The second arrow is your negative thoughts about it. I'm worthless. I always mess up. My life is ruined. The first arrow may hurt, but it's the second arrow that creates suffering. By practicing mindfulness, you learn to experience the first arrow without shooting yourself with the second. You feel the initial pain, but don't multiply it with negative thinking patterns. Let's explore some practical Buddhist techniques for working with negative thoughts. First is the practice of labeling. When a negative thought arises, simply give it a one-word label: judging, worrying, criticizing, planning. This creates a slight distance between you and the thought, helping you see it as a mental event rather than an absolute truth. Try it now. What negative thoughts have been recurring in your mind lately? Can you give them simple labels? Just naming your thoughts can reduce their power over you. The second technique is questioning. When a negative thought arises, gently investigate it. Is this thought helpful? Is it true beyond all doubt? Where did I learn this belief? This isn't about arguing with yourself. It's bringing clarity to your thinking. For example, if you have the thought, "I'm a failure," you might ask, "Is this absolutely true? Have I succeeded at anything in my life? What evidence do I have against this thought?" This questioning helps loosen the grip of negative beliefs. The third technique is loving kindness meditation, or metta in Pali. This is a practice of deliberately cultivating positive thoughts of goodwill toward yourself and others. When negative thoughts arise, you counter them not with force, but with gentle kindness. Try this. Place your hand on your heart and silently repeat, "May I be kind to myself in this moment. May I accept myself as I am." Feel the warmth of your hand on your heart as you say these words. This practice can transform your relationship with your negative thoughts. Buddha also taught about the importance of community, or sangha. Sharing your struggles with others who understand can be incredibly healing. When we keep our negative thoughts secret, they grow stronger in the darkness of isolation. Consider finding a meditation group, a therapist, or even just a trusted friend with whom you can share your inner experience. Often, simply speaking our thoughts aloud diminishes their power. Another powerful Buddhist concept is impermanence, the understanding that everything changes, including our thoughts. No matter how intense a negative thought feels, it will pass. This too shall change. When you're caught in a spiral of negative thinking, remember that these thoughts are temporary visitors, not permanent residents in your mind. They may feel overwhelming now, but they will transform and dissolve. There's a story about a monk who was troubled by negative thoughts. He went to his teacher and said, "My mind is filled with darkness. What should I do?" The teacher replied, "Wait, and it will pass." The monk, frustrated, said, "But you don't understand how terrible these thoughts are." The teacher smiled and said, "Wait, and they will pass." This story illustrates a profound truth. No thought, no matter how persistent, lasts forever. By simply waiting and watching, without feeding the thought with more thinking, it will naturally dissolve. Buddha also taught about the relationship between our thoughts and our actions. He understood that negative thoughts often lead to harmful actions, which create more suffering for ourselves and others. This is the concept of karma, the understanding that our actions have consequences. By working with our negative thoughts, we prevent them from manifesting as harmful speech or actions, breaking the cycle of suffering. One practical way to work with this is to create a pause between thought and action. When a negative thought arises and you feel the urge to react, take 3 conscious breaths. This tiny pause can make all the difference, allowing you to respond wisely rather than react blindly. There's a powerful Buddhist teaching called the 4 Noble Truths. The first truth is that suffering exists, which includes our negative thoughts. The second truth is that suffering has a cause, our attachment to certain ways of thinking. The third truth is that there's an end to suffering. It's possible to relate to our thoughts differently. And the fourth truth is that there's a path to the end of suffering, practices like mindfulness and compassion. This teaching reminds us that our struggle with negative thoughts isn't a personal failing, it's a universal human experience. And more importantly, there's a way out of this struggle. Another helpful concept is emptiness, the understanding that our thoughts don't have inherent, fixed meaning. We are the ones who give meaning to our thoughts, which means we have the power to relate to them differently. For example, if you have the thought, "I made a mistake," you might automatically interpret this to mean, "I am a mistake," or "I am worthless." But in reality, the thought is just, "I made a mistake." Everything else is interpretation. By recognizing the space between our thoughts and our interpretations of them, we gain freedom. We can choose how to relate to our thoughts rather than being controlled by them. Buddha also taught about the power of intention. By setting a clear intention to work with our negative thoughts compassionately, we create a foundation for transformation. Try setting this intention each morning. Today, I will practice being aware of my thoughts. When negative thoughts arise, I will meet them with kindness and curiosity. This simple intention can shift your entire relationship with your... Remember that working with negative thoughts isn't about reaching a state of perfect positivity. It's about developing a wise, compassionate relationship with your full human experience, including the difficult parts. In fact, Buddha taught that trying to have only positive thoughts is another form of attachment that leads to suffering. The goal isn't to eliminate negative thoughts, but to relate to all thoughts with wisdom and compassion. There's a beautiful metaphor in Buddhism about the lotus flower. The lotus grows in muddy water, yet it blooms into a beautiful, pristine flower. Similarly, our awakening grows from the mud of our difficult experiences and negative thoughts, not despite them. Your negative thoughts are not obstacles on your path. They are the path itself. Each difficult thought is an opportunity to practice awareness, compassion, and non-attachment. As you continue this practice, you'll notice something profound. The content of your thoughts becomes less important than your relationship to them. Whether a thought is positive or negative matters less than how you hold it in your awareness. You might wonder, how long will it take before my negative thoughts disappear? This question itself reflects a misunderstanding. The goal isn't to eliminate negative thoughts, but to transform your relationship with them. Buddhist practice is not about reaching a destination where you never have another negative thought. It's about learning to dance with whatever arises in your mind, meeting each thought with spacious awareness. Think of it this way. A skilled sailor doesn't try to control the wind. They learn to work with it, adjusting their sails according to the conditions. Similarly, we learn to work skillfully with our thoughts rather than trying to control them. This doesn't mean we're passive in the face of negative thinking. Buddha taught the importance of cultivating positive mental states like gratitude, compassion, and joy. These states naturally arise when we're not caught in negative thinking patterns. Try this practice. Each day, intentionally notice 3 things you're grateful for. They can be as simple as the warmth of sunlight, the taste of fresh water, or the kindness of a stranger. This simple practice helps balance the mind's natural tendency toward negativity. Remember, though, that even these positive practices are not about suppressing negative thoughts. They're about cultivating a mind that can hold all experiences with wisdom and compassion. As you continue this journey, you'll discover that freedom doesn't come from having only positive thoughts. It comes from no longer being defined by your thoughts at all. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that witnesses them. This understanding is the heart of Buddhist wisdom. Your true nature is not your changing thoughts, but the unchanging awareness that watches them come and go. This awareness is always peaceful, always free, always whole. In this awareness, you discover a profound truth. You don't need to get rid of your negative thoughts to be free. Freedom is already here, in the space between your thoughts, in the awareness that holds them. This is the ultimate promise of Buddhist practice. Not a life without negative thoughts, but a life where negative thoughts no longer have the power to control you. You can watch them arise and pass away, like clouds in the vast sky of your awareness. Buddha himself was not free from negative thoughts. He was free from identification with them. He saw them clearly for what they were, passing mental events, not ultimate truths about reality. As you practice this way of relating to your thoughts, you'll notice a profound shift. The content of your thinking becomes less important than the spacious awareness in which all thoughts arise and pass away. This is the freedom that Buddha discovered under the Bodhi tree. Not freedom from thinking, but freedom within thinking. The discovery that you are not limited by your thoughts, but are the limitless awareness in which they appear. And this awareness is always accessible to you, in every moment. It's not something you need to create or achieve. It's already here, as the background of all your experiences. The journey of working with negative thoughts is not about reaching some perfect state of mind. It's about coming home to the freedom that's already here, beneath the surface of your thinking. In this journey, every negative thought becomes an opportunity to wake up, to remember your true nature beyond thought. Every difficult emotion becomes a doorway to deeper presence and compassion. This is the invitation of Buddhist practice, not to escape your human experience, but to embrace it fully, with all its joys and sorrows, pleasures and pains, positive and negative thoughts. In this embrace, you discover something miraculous. The very thoughts that seem to be obstacles on your path become the path itself. The mud of your difficulties becomes the soil from which the lotus of your awakening blooms. As we come to the end of our journey together, remember that working with negative thoughts isn't about reaching some perfect state of mind. It's about discovering the freedom that's already here, beneath the surface of your thinking. The ancient wisdom of Buddhism isn't just philosophy. It's a practical path to peace that has transformed countless lives throughout history. If you found value in these teachings, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more insights from timeless wisdom traditions. Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the vast, peaceful awareness in which they arise and pass away. Until next time, may you meet each thought with kindness and wisdom.